All right, people, welcome to the coach's desk. And in studio today, we have Ricardo Witter, aka Witter Fitness,
Yeah,
certified
yeah.
fitness personnel, and we'll be talking about how well we'll be talking about some of the stuff that athletes can do in terms of the
Yeah.
pandemic that will assist them in staying fit, staying motivated, and the mentals in check. Right? But before we get into the interview, I'm just reminding you to subscribe, share, and like this video and be a part of the Coaches Desk family. Welcome, Ricardo Witter.
Yes, thank you for having me here, sir.
Yeah, man. Before we get into
Thank you
you,
for having me here.
yeah, man. Yeah, no problem. Before you get into the whole details of what we are going to talk about, just give the people a rundown of who is Ricardo Witter, aka Witter Fitness.
Okay, guys, so I am Ricardo Witter. I am a certified personal trainer. I offer online training and also in-person training. I am also a certified nutritionist, and I'm also certified in injury management. So, I'm kind of all rounded where that is concerned. I also have a BSc in marketing. Yeah, so that's just a small summary of where I am.
All right.
Yeah.
So, personal fitness person, fitness trainer, um, whether online or in person, nutritionist, and
Yeah.
also injury management. So, good combination there. So, basically, you would know many of the stuff that athletes can do in regards to this pandemic. You know, of course, persons are kind of quarantined now, so they can't go about their regular business as they used to. So I want you to walk us through, as a fitness personal trainer, fitness individual, what can athletes do? And when we speak about athletes, we know that the elite athletes are actually doing their paces. They're actually training. But for like footballers, basketballers, and so forth, what do you recommend that they do in a time of this pandemic to ensure that they remain fit?
All right. All right. So in a time like this, the first thing that we need to focus on is our mental health, right? So if athletes should try to surround themselves with just positive people, positive thinking, listening to positive podcasts or videos to just get their mind in that frame, get their mind in the work mode to just go there and start just doing things while they are inside, right? So one of the major things that athletes need to do in regards to their fitness is to focus firstly on their mental fitness. Focus on that first. Once they get that right first, then the second thing that I think they need to do is to focus on proper nutrition during this time. Reason why I say this is because you're inside. Repeat.
Go ahead, go ahead.
Right, so because you're inside, you're tempted to just eat anything, to binge eat, watch Netflix, and do all of that. So I think we should focus on proper nutrition during this time. That's the main thing we need to focus on. Proper nutrition. Try to stay away from temptation, things that distract us from what we're supposed to be focused on as athletes. What you should be focused on as athletes. So that is one of the other major factors. Nutrition plays a very important part in an athlete's performance.
All right. All right.
One of the other things.
Before you get
Want to
into,
speak?
all right, go ahead.
Yeah, yeah.
I have a question.
No, go ahead.
All right, I want you to answer this question. I know the nutrition is important, right?
Right, yeah.
What are the things that these athletes could do? You spoke about watching motivational podcasts and stuff like that. What if
Yeah.
that individual is not someone who is interested in watching motivation? Are there any other avenues of affecting their mental other than?
Okay, yes. Yes, rather than watching motivational stuff, I think what you could also do is read read upon read upon mental health, read upon the importance of your mental health, and that can also help you to put your mental health as an important thing in your life, something that you need to take very seriously, to reduce laziness. So that would give you now the driving force to participate in physical activities while staying indoors, because you need to stay physical. You need to work on your strength in this time. You need to work on your endurance. You need to work on your core strength. You need to work on whatever injuries you had before this time. So if you had an hamstring injury, you know that you need to use this time to spend more time to work on it, spend more time to ice it, spend more time to heat it, spend more time to self-massage it while you're indoors. So that is also one of the things we need to focus on.
All right, Mr. Witter. For athletes who might be living in an upscale community, so to speak, for example, a townhouse, you know what I mean?
Mm-hmm.
How would these athletes be able to carry out an endurance program, a core program to ensure that they remain fit? What advice would you give to these individuals who live in a townhouse, small space setting?
Yeah, so you're saying that they cannot go like outside or anything.
Right.
They're definitely inside the house.
Inside.
They could participate in high intensity interval training. You don't need much space to do that. So you can stay indoors in a very small space to do some plyometrics, to do core exercises.
Hold on there, Ricardo.
Yeah.
I want you to break it down for the viewers and subscribers. What do you mean by intensity? What do you mean by plyometrics? I want you to give the viewers insight to these things. Because everybody will understand these terminologies.
Right. So when I say high intensity interval training, is like, for example, you participate in an intense movement for say 1 minute with only 15 seconds rest between each exercise. So you participate in the activity long with short rest, in longer intensity and short rest between each exercises. That is one of the approach that you can take for at least say 25 to 30 minutes a day, right? Because when you're doing high intensity interval training, you cannot do it for such a long period, like 1 hour, 2 hours. High intensity interval, right? So you can participate in explosive movements. You're doing like your jump squats, your jumping lunges, to build explosiveness in the legs and also help with the overall cardiovascular system, to help with your breathing, to help with your core. So exercises like those you can try to do at least say 4 times for the week while you're focusing on maintaining a proper nutrition throughout the pandemic.
Okay, did you touch on the plyometrics, because that has to do with the more explosiveness for an athlete? So what are some of the plyometric metrics drills that these athletes could do? How would you tell them that they could improvise using some stuff that they have at home?
All right. So if you're in a townhouse, I'd assume that most townhouses have like at least a small stairs in it that could be used to participate in plyometrics or explosive exercises, like the jump squats and the jumping lunges or the calf raises. You can, once you have an elevated surface, you can do a calf raise. Also, for the abdominal workouts, that you don't really need anything. You just maybe need a mat. You probably don't even need to have a mat. Once you have a floor, you can just lie down and do some abdominal workout. And I think at least we also try to contact coaches, like online that are over Zoom, maybe if they can manage to pay for some Zoom training or whatever, they could also seek out coaches in that way. And even their own coaches, they can contact them and try to get video call training via Zoom or WhatsApp or FaceTime or Skype to help them.
Right, which is very important. I was just going to touch that point, because sometimes these individuals have their personal trainers, and it's good that they could use a platform like this to ensure that their athletes are up to speed in terms of their endurance, their explosiveness, and so forth. So the pandemic basically should not stop an individual from actually going through their paces. And you have some areas that you live, you might be able to do some jogging, which will assist with the endurance, the cardiovascular, and so forth. So
because I even saw an high school coach last week on the television. He was coaching his football, his Manning Cup, not Manning Cup, his under 16 footballers over Zoom, giving them core exercises like planks and sit-ups, simple exercises like those, high knees, knee lift, straight legs. He was coaching them over Zoom, so that can also work. You can do drills in a very small space. The only thing that they cannot be able to do if they're living in a townhouse is like long jogging around or short sprints. They might not have the space to do that, especially the track and field athletes.
Okay, all right, good. Now, since you're a certified nutritionist with us,
right,
tell us some of the meals, because you know that being at home, unoccupied where the physical is concerned, you tend to develop a sedentary lifestyle. You understand? Yeah. So I want you to walk us through what are some of the nutritional meals or nutritious meals that these athletes could prepare in order to maintain their level of weight, as well as not putting on a stomach like that particular artist.
All right, so what they can do is definitely stick to cruciferous vegetables, meaning they can stick to green leafy vegetables. Like in Jamaica we have like kalaloo, we have pak chow, we have we have cabbage. So stick to those. Try to stick to leafy greens. Those are easy to find vegetables and are very affordable vegetables. Also, we should stick to like the baked chicken instead of the fried chicken. So ease off those fatty food, oily foods. Cut out the foods that are very high in saturated fats. You can consume healthy fats through like avocado. Also, I think we should make sure that we are consuming at least 2 servings of fruits and vegetables per day, or at least every other day if we cannot afford per day. Also, I think we should also ease off of foods that are very high in processed carbs and stick to those that are that has complex carbs. So processed carbs, we are talking about donuts, pizza, a lot of snacks, cheesies and Doritos and those things that we have. Instead of eating those stuff, we should be more so focused on eating complex carbs like sweet potato, yam in Jamaica. Simple foods like those, we can just try to exchange the unhealthy foods for the healthier version that is not so expensive. And for those that can afford the expensive food, then we're talking about pink salmon, asparagus, and broccoli. They're also healthy options if you want to go that way, because the pink salmon contains healthy fats, like fatty acids that are good for you, amino acids that are good for muscle muscle repair. So if you have an injury, amino acid is good for you because amino acid is what builds up protein. Branched chain amino acid is what come together to form protein, which is good for muscle repairing and rebuilding. So that's a good option for those who have. Those who don't have it, stick to the cheaper vegetables that are still good for you. Just try to cut out the processed carbs and stick to the complex carbs.
All right. I want you to explain to the viewers why, as an athlete, I should stay away from the processed starch as opposed to the complex starch.
As opposed to the complex. All right. So processed carbs. Processed carbs are mainly contain high glycemic levels. So that means it is very high in sugar content. So things that are very high in sugar content can lead to you gaining unnecessary body fat, gaining unnecessary belly fat, and also gaining unnecessary body weight. So getting unnecessary body fat, body weight, and also putting a lot of fat storage in your stomach, which is not what you want as an athlete. For the complex carbs now, these work more better because complex carbs like the natural yam and sweet potato also has more added nutrients to it, and not just say like the processed carbs that has plain sugar, a lot of stupid stuff in it that they put in it in factories. But like the sweet potato have like iron in it. It's a good source of protein also, and you're getting a little carbs in it also. So you're getting macronutrient, very high macronutrient. So macronutrient is the carbs, fat, and protein. You're getting macronutrient in those foods as opposed to the complex carbs. You're getting macro and micronutrients like vitamin D and vitamin A, to your body recover, to help your immune system also. So it is just overall, it's just better to stick with the natural foods instead of the processed foods for your body.
All right, very, very useful information there with the fitness.
Yes,
another thing, we want to look at the injury management, right? Because of course, some athletes would have probably nursing some niggles, and they probably would have been in a situation where they were getting treatment. But seeing that they probably would not be in competition, like a footballer with an hamstring injury, he would not be in competition now because the Jamaica RSPL would have been cancelled for the rest of the season. What advice would you give to an athlete like that? Should he continue to do some work? Should he do some strength training? How will he do strength training when he's not at home? When he's at home, rather, and he's unable to attend the gym because of the pandemic? What do you tell that athlete?
All right, so I would tell that athlete to mainly focus on just developing core strength because you would not want to, do things that would affect your hamstring or affect any other injury that you have. So you would have to more so focus on avoiding doing stuff that will act up your injury, and more so focus on resting it, icing it, compressing it, and elevating it. So the right treatment that we talk about in physical education. So you would want to apply that to any injury that you have. Rest, ice, elevate. Rest, ice, compress, elevate. So you want to make sure that you're avoiding anything that might act up any injury that you have. So focus on the diet part, focus on the core strengthening, focus on your mental health, and just try to do everything to stay away from acting up that injury again. So just focus on self-massaging it. It might not be as good as what the physio would do. So you just have to just try your best. Take your time to rub it. If you have a foam roller, you can use a foam roller to roll it out, ice it, heat it. If you have access to a cream, a muscle rub, you can rub it on it and just try to just stay away from doing any form of activity that would act up that injury.
All right, sounds like a man that is well trained in the area. So definitely you have brought up some very salient points that would assist persons throughout this pandemic who are athletes, right?
Right.
But one final question before we run out of here, Witter. I am someone who, in this situation, my mentals are not functioning because of this whole pandemic. I I tend to lock myself away because of whatever is transpiring. When I know that I have to work out, I know that I have to eat right. However, I find myself in a depressive, distressing mood. What do you say to someone in that particular situation?
I would say find someone to talk to. We have technology available right at the tip of our hands. I'm sure most of us have at least one friend that we can call to talk to over video call, over WhatsApp video call, over FaceTime, or Zoom. Also, we in this time, a lot of us might not be able to go to church, but we do have access to the Word of God through these medias, through WhatsApp, through Zoom, through Facebook Live. So we can use this to our benefit, to make sure that we speak to someone and we are getting advice from anybody that do care about us. So we should just try to reach out to someone through the use of technology.
So essentially, try not to go through this pandemic alone. Try and lean on someone.
Right.
Because no man is an island.
Right.
No man stand alone, right? So,
right.
any last word?
Even me, I feel like I don't want to work out sometime. I feel, I feel like I don't want to do anything sometime, and I just you just have that one friend that is always sometimes just doing something that I can call to help motivate me to continue to practice a healthy lifestyle and to also practice bettering myself as a person. So it is just good for any one of us to have that person that we can talk to.
All right, wonderful, Witter. Any last words that you want to share with us? Tell the people where we can find you and so forth.
Yeah. All right, so you can find me on Instagram, YouTube, and Twitter at Witter Fitness. That's WITTER Fitness. So on all social media platforms, my name is Witter Fitness, WITTER Fitness. And also I forgot, even though I stated my certifications, I also forgot to tell you, I'm also certified in public speaking. So I do motivational talks from time to time. So that is also one of the things that I do. So yeah, I just want to encourage you all to stay motivated. Stay disciplined in achieving whatever you want to achieve. Use this time to reflect on things that you can do better. Use this time to just try to better whatever skill you wanted to better. So in this time, a lot of us don't have a lot of things doing. So we can use this time to go on the internet and search for courses to do just to better ourselves. Google is offering free courses that are accredited. If you go on the if you go into the if you type in on Google, what's the name of it? You have this site that Google itself is offering digital marketing courses, etc., about typing and all of those. We can just do these things to better ourselves and to keep our time occupied.
Well said, Mr. Witter. Thank you very much for joining.
Thank you very much.
Thank you very much for joining the Coach's Desk today in today's edition. And you have informed the viewers and subscribers well. And I'm sure that persons will be coming over to get some more expertise or expert advice from Witta Fitness. Thank you again, my friend. We hope to do this again. Enjoy the rest of your day.
Thank you very much, top coach.